car, sliding, doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah. And I gotta put the old Gibson back in the tune after
Yeah,
this.
catching our breath after that great conversation with Doc and Dave down in Sarasota, Florida, all about welders and lawnmower racing and all that cool stuff. So
yeah, those lawnmowers are no joke.
No, I know.
Those things are built like freaking pro stocks, man.
Yeah, true enough. And,
it's not like you take the old John Deere and you rip the blade off and you go out and no. These things are serious.
They do.
Which means, folks, don't go out there and try to put nitro in the tank of your lawnmower and try to get things done faster. That's not what it's all about.
Right.
But if you do, send us a video.
Yeah, share it with us.
Yeah, by all means, let's. If you're going to do something like that, we'd all like to see.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, just don't send us the aftermath or the 911 tape or any of that kind of stuff.
Our buddy, speaking of listening, our buddy Cliff, he's out at Westbury. I forgot Westbury Gardens had their show today.
Oh yeah,
he's listening in Westbury. The Centurion Cruisers are doing a show out at St. Anthony's High School in Huntington today. Right. I didn't get out there this morning. And Joe, you heard about a show in
Franklin Square
too.
Yep.
Square.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's quite a few of them out there today. I mean, the weather seems to be holding up from what I could see out of our little basement gun slots here.
So far, they're talking about maybe some showers this afternoon. I have the convertible out today. I may stick it back in its cavern and take the old Mazda. But instead of that, for right now, let's go back to the phones and say hi, your Automotive Mouths. Yes.
Yo.
Caller.
Yes, hello, people on the line. This is the Bronx.
Bronx.
How are you guys doing?
Hey, what's going on,
found our number, huh?
Yeah, finally got back. I've been away about a month, as you guys know.
Right.
I went down to South Carolina, did a little Southern boy kind of stuff, and back here to sunny Nevada, just in time for Street Vibrations, big motorcycle rally this weekend. So you get touch space, get my bike out, have some fun.
So you hit right in with our guests.
Good show with the guys down in Florida.
Yeah.
Really interesting about the welding equipment. And that's one of the things that kids are not going into. You don't hear of welding schools anymore. Out here with construction and everything, they have things up all over the place looking for contractors and welders with all the new construction.
Wow.
And these kids just don't want to work.
So
I don't get it.
They bring guys in from out of state, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things, that they're advertising to bring them in from all over the country, because this whole area is booming. Now that you got the Tesla factory going in, they just put 1 million square foot factory. You got Amazon, you got, who else is out here? Microsoft, and they're bringing in these large areas of desert. They're putting up these giant warehouses, buildings, which is all commercial and which is all where you need welders and contractors to come in.
Right.
So, he's doing a good thing there, keeping it alive, and hopefully get people into this business. You guys are doing a great job. You got to keep it up.
Thanks,
Sure.
Rock. And that's the thing, the people that don't know, Doc, I kind of met Doc. We haven't met in person, but on the Thursday night gig we do on Playing in Traffic, we're still waiting to get Joe on that thing. If he can stay awake one week, we'll get him on there. With,
Give him a shot of Geritol. That'll get his ass up and moving.
Yeah.
More like my 18th cup of coffee, but it's not the staying up; it's the waking up the next day that's going to get me.
It's staying awake for the day. That's it. Hey, when you hit my age and you're still crawling around on your belly under cars, that kind of thing, there, say, what the hell am I doing? I'm 70 years old. Why am I subjecting myself to this nonsense?
Oh yeah, belatedly happy birthday there.
Yeah. I'll tell you why. Because if you stop, then you just might as well roll over and just kick it, because you got to stay active as long as you can.
And that's the whole trick right there, just staying involved in the hobby.
Yeah.
Like today, yesterday I did the service on my bike, and that's another thing people don't do. They don't do their own service. They depend on people to screw you up. Simple things like fork oil change, primary, belt tension, the nonsense stuff that keeps you safe on the road. And it goes back to a minimal amount of training, a little bit of reading, and then you get it done, and you're safe. And it goes back to any other job, any other contractor. You have to learn it to do it right, and that's what it goes back to.
I think a lot of guys, Bronk, get gun shy because of the whole dealer paradigm with their cars. They know they can't work on their cars, and motorcycles are getting there too with the electronics, and you need scan tools and things like that, and they're proprietary.
Right. Well, that's with the electronics, where you're going into problem solving, but maintenance is still the same. I don't care if it's 1876 or 2012, 2017.
Yeah.
Oil is oil. Filters are filters. All right? It still works the same way. You take it out, you put the right stuff, you put it in. You open the screw, you close the screw.
That's the key.
science.
No, that's the key. Put the right stuff back in today.
Correct.
Oils,
Right. Well,
all
that's the whole
fluids.
trick, too.
You have to do your research.
There's so many new products out there. Like, I've been a diehard Harley oil guy. Everything was Harley Davidson, Harley Davidson, Harley Davidson. With the new products out there, a buddy of mine, he's a head mechanic over in Salt Lake City for Harley Davidson.
Right.
And they're going into these blends now, into the older motorcycles, which is half synthetic, half organic.
Right.
And they're going in that direction instead of using a straight organic oil. Like my bike's a 99, so I always use straight. I tried synthetic. It sounded like an old broken sewing machine. I went back to the organic, and he says, no, go with the synthetic, the partial blend. And I tried it. Believe it or not, the bike is running a little quieter. And what I found, being out here in the desert, once they get hot, these air-cooled engines, your oil pressure at idle drops to zero.
Yeah.
That's telling you that the oil is getting extremely thin. With the slight synthetic blend, the half-half, I'm finding my oil pressure is up to about 5-6 pounds at idle rather than zero.
Okay.
That's a definite step in the right direction.
Yeah, so, you just have to do some research. You got an internet out there. Do your research. What's new? What's working? What's not working? And then move ahead. You can't stick in 1950 when you're in 2017. You have to move ahead with new products, new designs that are going to enhance whatever you're driving, whether it's a lawnmower, a tractor, a motorcycle, a car, a boat, whatever the case may be. Right? Old technology, new technology. We don't use points anymore. We use electronics.
Yeah, the thing I was going to say is the information is out there. The thing people need to know is there's more wrong and bad information than there is good information.
There's a lot of bad info.
Learning how to disseminate that information is important. And you know what? Talk to other people. Talk to people who know more than you do. That's all.
That's the key, networking. You hit it right on the head.
Right.
We're pretty knowledgeable at this time in our lives. We've been around this business our whole lives. We've been involved with it. But we're not in the forefront of what's coming out on an everyday basis because we're kind of like locked in a routine. So unless you go out there and research it and talk to new guys coming into the field, guys just coming out of schools, trade schools, education, guys that become mechanics who are in their early 20s, early 25, that they're at the top of technology because they live for it. Those are the guys we got to talk to. Learn from the young, right, to bring the new information to the old farts like us.
It's funny you say that because my daughter had a party last night, and I got to hang out with some 20 and 21-year-olds and talk to some of these guys who are went through and are going through BOCES and complaining that there's not enough trade and enough tech, trade tech out there. And it's good to see that these guys at that young age are aware of it, and they are still working with their hands. There's, not all of them, certainly, but there are some out there.
Yeah. Right, but we need more.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole thing is. So you guys got to keep doing what you're doing. You got to keep going what you're doing, and hopefully the schools. And this is my biggest gripe: is that all the schools are dropping the shops, whether it's on the East Coast or the West Coast. Oh no, we don't need shops anymore. We need more computer classes, more hands-on video game classes.
Yeah.
But nothing that goes out there and say, okay, here's a hammer, here's a nail, this is how you do it.
Exactly.
Right? And
right.
What's a hammer? I had a kid come in real fast. It was a 9-year-old kid, my neighbor's friend. I had a number 2 yellow pencil sitting on my counter. The kid picks it up, he looks at it, and he goes, what's this? I said, it's a pencil.
No.
He goes, oh, how does it work? I said, well,
how do you turn it
put
on?
In the sharpener. You put a point, and then you write on paper. He's looking at it,
paper.
And he goes, which end do you put in the sharpener? You can't make this up.
Oh, that's
right? I'm like,
you should have said,
what are they doing?
You should have said, that goes in your ear.
Yeah, then you stab yourself in the ear with it, yeah.
In the case, we'll probably go straight through the other side with no blockage.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a teachable moment, Bronk. That's a teachable moment. All right, listen, we're gonna run. We're gonna wrap up our show, and
I see that.
Yeah,
Kim's
on the way in.
All right, well, you guys take care. Right. Have a good one. I'll be talking to you soon, and be safe out there.
All right, Bronk.
Thanks, Bronk.
So
take care.
All right, that was Bronk from the
Great West.
Speaking of the Great West, I put an email out to our good friend Tony Candela at CE Auto Electric out in. He's in Arizona.
Yeah,
right.
And one of them hot places out there. Yeah,
I haven't heard back from him yet, but we're hoping to get him in soon because this is getting to be the time of the year where they kind of start shutting down because it's too damn hot.
Exactly.
And next week, Joe, we have another good guest lined up. We have Tony Giroux from OPGI.
Yeah,
right.
some restoration part stuff. Yeah, cool.
Tony was another guy who was on Plane in Traffic. That's how I met him. I did a show with him back in April, and he's going to come on next week and talk about all the new products at OPGR. They have a couple new catalogs. They're expanding their game out there.
Yeah, there's always new stuff to find. There's always somebody coming up with some hard-to-find part that you can no longer find under your friend's workbench.
So that's next week. Let's take a quickie here.
Yeah.
Let's go take a quickie and see if we can see who's on the line with Ray and Joe. Hello.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey, Vic.
What's going on, man?
Not much. I know I only got a couple minutes. My 04 Freestar had the lockout problem. So I went to new keys, Ford keys. I went to a 5-button remote, a Ford one, and it still gives me a lockout. I was told that the ignition is not reading the key to change the, not the switch, but there's a module behind it or something like that.
The antenna. Well, okay, first question. When, this has been like an ongoing thing for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you got new keys for it?
Ford keys, yep, had them cut, and I got Ford 5-button modules instead of 4-button aftermarket. Did you learn the new keys to the car? Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So that's basically in that year. I think that's the one where you take the original key, you cycle it, take it out, put the new key in, cycle it, take it out. Right. Something along those lines.
Right.
Okay.
But
good.
The guy told me there's a module behind the switch to change.
Yeah. There's a lot of Ford products. What they do, a lot of car companies. It depends. It's like a little ring. It's an antenna, literally an antenna, 2 maybe 3 wires. Goes to, depending on the car, either the instrument cluster or a dedicated patch module. Don't know off the top of my head with this right this minute because, of course, I shut off the all data.
Yeah.
But pretty much what happens then is that if that were to go bad, the key would not be read by the module and say, "Who the hell are you?" So.
And I'm sure the thing Vic would want to do is get a dedicated Ford part for that, right?
Pretty much, I don't think they're available aftermarket. Okay. So you're headed in that direction. Well, let me ask you this question: does this car have any kind of funky remote start or aftermarket alarm stuff or anything like that in there?
It's all factory.
All factory. Nobody.
Yeah.
All right, because a lot of times I see remote starts cause crap like that because they interrupt the usual flow of the signals. But do you have tilt wheel?
Yeah.
Do you tilt it?
No.
Okay. No, the reason why is I've seen tilt wheel.
Mess with it for a week and put it back stock,
Yeah. Okay. No, you know why? Because I've had cars, different steering column mounted thing, turn signal switches, anti-theft wiring, whatever. You play with the tilt wheel because you have 2 different size drivers. Next thing you know, something wears out and it becomes an intermittent. Yeah. And yikes,
Yeah, quick one. That ring, when you put it in, is that plug and play or does it have to learn?
Top of my head, that's plug and play because it's merely an antenna.
All right.
Now, if that's
when I go to the remote, it will start. If I lock the door with the remote, unlock it with the remote, it starts.
Lock the door with the remote, unlock it with the remote, it starts. But it doesn't when you put the key in there.
Usually in the morning, open at night, it goes bad. Put the key in, locks the doors, no ignition.
I got to do a little reading. Something's a little funky like that. Something's a little funky like that. I'm going to do a little research today. This afternoon is going to be a little tough, but I'll get back to some stuff. That's an 04 Freestar?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, Vic, we're banging the rev limiter at the end of the show.
Go. Bye, guys. Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. All right, Joe.
Always one right under the wire, right?
Yeah, we burned another one. Listen, for Joe D, Ray Guarino, Motormouth Radio, come back next week. Listen to Tony Giroux from OPGI. And
Sunday! No, we're ending, not starting, Ray.
It said 5. This CD player does this to me. I'm doing this again. There's track 5. How about that? That's it.
All
right. We're out of here, guys. Stay tuned for Thunder Home Kim Tracy.
Bye.
See ya.